Lamb Chop, get up here. What are you doing? I saw you. What did you just eat? You that was not your food bowl. What did you just eat? Now, come on. I saw some. What is in your mouth? Hold on. Oh, sorry, Tubies. He's done eating something. What? Oh my gosh. Lamb Chop, you almost ate a piece of my jewelry. Now, listen, why did you want to eat this? You were hungry. Well, you had plenty of food today. What? You thought it was a red pepper. Oh my gosh. Lamb Chop, this is not a red pepper. This is a red Italian horn charm. We're going to talk about that. Almost took away my charm. Lamb Chop, you got to calm down. You're getting way too spastic. Now, listen, you don't need to eat my jewelry. There. How's your eye charm doing? I've got him wearing the evil eye charm. I got to keep him out of my jewelry. What are you doing today? Oh, my goodness, guys. Lamb Chop is full of himself, isn't he? Well, welcome to our show today. I am Psychic Bob, and welcome to Wiccan Wednesday. For those of you who are new here, how you like my witch hat, by the way? Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We'd love you to be a regular. Now, Lamb Chop, why don't you go over there and sit down? No, you can't eat any jewelry, okay? All right. You're not going to eat any, are you? No. All right, you can have some tea. All right, hold on. Here you go. I'm sipping tea. It's been very cold here in Virginia. All right, you going to be good now? No more eating my jewelry. Okay. All right, so go over there and sit down, watch the show today, okay? Yeah, sit over by the window. Yeah, you can watch the sunset. It's just going down. It's dusk now. Oh my gosh, Davis, I am so glad you're here. I am Psychic Bob, also known by my Wiccan title of Lord Ision, also known by my British title of Baron of Paravel or Lord Paravel. I have a lot of names and titles, so you just call me whatever you want. Call me whatever you want, but just don't call me late to supper. My grandmother used to say that. Anyways, well, welcome to Wiccan Wednesday. Isn't it great to gather? Wiccan Wednesday is one of my favorite days because kind of like, we all gather around, especially now it's getting cold. It's like we all gather around our computers. Like the computer is kind of like the modern day hearth. You know what I mean? It's like we all gather and it's cozy and warm. I hope you're feeling cozy and warm wherever you are tonight. And if you're not feeling cozy and warm in your house, maybe being here at Spirit Channel will make you feel cozy and warm, huh? Well, I see a lot of you in chat. Gosh, let's see. Also, there's Amanda S. Hey, Amanda, there's Denise D. Hey, Denise, there's Amsterdam Soul. Yay, good to see you, Amsterdam. There's Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe. Yay, there's Baroness Colabaz. Everybody give a shout out to Baroness Colabaz. She's got the blue ring. She's our moderator. That means if anybody gives you any hassle and chatting, trolls, anybody, you let her know. She'll chuck that wrench at them. Get them out of here. Thank you, Baroness, for your service. There's Stardust C. Yay. Oh, there's Maria Lane. Gosh, we got a nice group of people here today. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyways, I am Psychic Bob, also known as Lord Ision, also known as the Baron of Paravel, or in the short form, Lord Paravel. Yes, I am actually holding a British barony, an ancient feudal barony. I do legally hold a title. It's a British title. In fact, I'm wearing today, we're going to talk about red magical charms, particularly the red pepper, but we might extend that into other red charms. I'm wearing what's known as the British Red Ensign, E-N-S-I-G-N. It's a flag that's used by the British merchant ships to represent that they're from England or United Kingdom. And it's also oftentimes used by British overseas territories. You don't see it as much anymore, but it used to be flown like by Bermuda and some of the Bahamas and different countries. Canada flew it. And since I'm a British baron of an ancient barony, I'm kind of, wherever I reside, the barony resides. It's kind of a feudal title. I wear this flag as I'm a British overseas territory. My barony is with me here. So I'm flying the red ensign as my flag of my barony. So I'm just glad you guys are here today. And it's good to see you guys. There's Amsterdam that says, Lord Ision, what can you tell me about your witch's hat? The witch's hat, why is it pointed? That's a great question. By the way, this hat on camera, because of the camera, looks orange, but it's actually a deep red. Though it looks orange, it's actually red. You see my pen looks red, but the hat looks orange, but they're similar red. So this is my witch's hat. I'm wearing red today because we're going to talk about the red pepper charm. And we're actually going to kind of expand it into red charms in general. But the witch's hat is a symbol of the ancient cone of power. Whenever witches would gather, they would do a charm spell and they'd raise a cone of power. And so this represents the work of the witches. And the circle around it represents the gathering of the coven, the sacred circle that's formed. Or whenever a witch, even a single witch, solitary, casts a circle. So it represents the circle of power and the cone of power. Isn't that cool? So that's why the witches wear it. That's what it represents. So men as well as women can wear the witch hat. Okay. Some people say, well, only women wear the hat. No, men wear it too. All right. So there you go. And I wore red today because we're talking about red charms. How you like that? I have these in all different colors. You know, I bought these a few years ago, and I'm glad that I did because they're hard to find nowadays with the gold stars on them. I have a blue one, and I have a white one, and a black one. I think I have a purple one and an orange one also. Here's my red one today. So how y'all like that? That's a good question. A lot of people don't know about that, you know. So good to see you guys. Baroness Kolobobs insists it's a traffic code. I'm wearing a British traffic code. Look out. Baroness says, no, Bobs, it represents an English orange traffic cone on UK roads. Well, maybe it does. Anyways, you know, the highway division of Britain will probably call me and accuse me of stealing a traffic code. That's what Baroness tells me. You know, it's always fun on Wiccan Wednesday to gather and to talk about magic. Now, you'll see today I'm wearing a red pepper charm. Some of you may have seen this before. I'll take it off here and show it to you up close. So we're going to talk about this today. So the red pepper is a magical charm that many witches, particularly in the United States, I think it's more popular in the US nowadays than Europe, use. There's a red pepper charm. Let's see, I got some glare here. There you go. You can kind of see it. How you like that? Can you guys see that? Now, I need to give you some background of how this evolved into being a magical charm. Hold on, I gotta get on my chain here. I don't want to be without any protection, so I'm always going to wear my charms here. Okay. I recommend, in fact, I'm going to tell all y'all, especially those of you who are Wiccan, it wouldn't hurt for you to, to make sure you're wearing some consecrated item every day. All of my jewelry has been blessed and charged, consecrated. So whatever I wear has special blessing on it, Even my little pins are charged with blessing and protection. So last week, some of you guys may remember we talked about the Italian horn. Here's my silver Italian horn. Some of you guys may remember this. This is also another magical charm. All right. And so the magical charms, they all actually kind of interconnect, and I'll show you how that all happened. So back in the ancient Greco-Roman times, as I mentioned last week, that the horn became a symbol of the god Zeus, of his blessing and protection, because it was believed that he took a horn off a gazelle. It's a gazelle horn, actually, not a bull. Some people say it's a bull horn, but it actually is technically a gazelle horn. But he took a horn off a gazelle and filled it with jewels and gold and food, and he gave it to mortals who he favored as a sign of his blessing and protection. And in many of the ancient pagan cultures, Am I breaking up? Are you guys hearing the broadcast? Amanda S. says, I'm not sure I would wear a red pepper, but it will be interesting to learn about it. All right. You can wear any charms you want, but these are the ones we're talking about today. All right. And you might like it after a while. So the horn charm, particularly in ancient Rome, became a sign of Zeus or Jupiter's power. And so it was believed that the horn represented Zeus's protection. It represented prosperity. It represented guardianship. It represented the horned god aspect, okay? Maria says, oh, but I would wear that pepper, Amanda, LOL. All right. We got the sisters fighting over the charms. All right. Thank you, Amy. Amy says I'm broadcasting. All right. So the Italian horn, particularly back when I was a kid in the 1970s, was a particularly powerful charm. Now, as I mentioned last week, but if you weren't here, don't worry, we'll just review it, okay? So the charm is often seen, at least in the United States, and I think in Italy as well, done in silver and gold. This is a sterling silver charm, but it's done in gold, silver, copper, rose gold, platinum, any of these sort of things. Now, along the way, the charm of the horn not only came to represent the protection of the gods, particularly the horn god like Dionysus or Zeus or Pan. All right, it's a symbol. For those of you who are Wiccan and worship the horn god, such as Pan, you could wear a horn also to represent your connection with him or any of the horn gods. If you're a Viking, what do you call it? Not a Viking, but you're a Nordic pagan or a Norse Wiccan, all right, you can also wear the horn because Odin wore a horned helmet as well as did Thor. So this can be used by people who follow the Nordic paths as well, the Viking spirit. So the horn goes across all the ancient pagan cultures, from Greco-Roman to Norse, even in the Celtic tradition, because they have the horned lord, Cernunnos. Okay, so the horn can be worn by anybody pagan. Well, it can be worn by anybody, but especially for pagans, because we're talking about Wicca today. The Wiccans could use this symbol. Now, one of the things that the horn started to evolve into was it was kind of connected with fertility. And so women would think, oh, I'm going to get my man a horn charm because then he'll be like the horned god and he'll become very virile and horny. I didn't say that. I hope I don't get censored. Horny. All right. So it became kind of a sexual charm too, because it meant that your man was all studly and cool, and he could definitely be a cool dude. All right. Stud dude. So a lot of guys started wearing horn charms because their girlfriends or wives bought them. But then men also thought, hey, that's going to make me like super strong, super studly. I'm going to be all, the hot thing. So a lot of men wore it. Now, between you and I think if you're a man and you're really bad off, like ugly, and you look all wimpy and ugly, you might need this charm. It might be the only thing that get you going, okay? So I'm a believer in it. And so what happened is that the horn started to evolve in different materials. Remember I said it was done in silver originally and gold. But then they came out with a coral horn. Now, this is not actually coral, but it's a red horn. This is another Italian horn done in red. This is red enamel, but it could be coral. They started making the horns out of coral because coral was considered a protective gem. It was associated also with the goddess Venus, or Aphrodite in Greek, goddess of love. So if you got a red horn, you got the goddess of love energy in the coral, then you have the horned god or Zeus's power. You see where I'm going with this? So we've got the most powerful, potent sexual energy. So a lot of the guys then started to wear red horns because if a silver horn was great, a red horn was even better. I'm not trying to be obscene here. I'm trying to keep it family friendly, but it is what it is. All right. So the red horn is still to this day very popular. And we're going to expand into other charms that are red and show you how it all interconnects. All right, so started with the silver horn. Now we're wearing the red horn, okay? Can you guys see these? I know we got some glare. All right. Well, the farmers in Italy, in ancient Rome, would be out in their crops harvesting their red peppers. Red peppers are very popular in many of the Mediterranean countries, Italy, Spain, Greece. So they're out, they're harvesting their red peppers. All right, now this is a red pepper ornament. It's not actually a real red pepper. I should have went today. You know, Cole, I should have gone to the grocery store and bought some red peppers for this video. Oh, well. No, we'll do that next time. But this is a fake red pepper. But as the farmers started to gather their red peppers, they said, gosh, that looks an awful lot like the Italian horn, or, well, shall we say the red Italian horn. Let's get this one. All right, so there's the Italian horn. That's an animal horn. This is a pepper. But you can see how they would see a similarity, okay? Like, wow, this is like a horn thing. So the Italian farmers started saying that the red pepper was also protective. Red, because of the sensual nature, but red was also a color of protection, divine protection. It would deflect evil. So the red horn charm would keep a man potent, powerful, supercharged, had the protection of the goddess of love, Venus, the power of the god Zeus. You see, it's a very powerful charm. And then they said, you know what? We can hang peppers up at the harvest time because those will bless us and protect us. So they would start taking peppers and hanging them on a cord called a ristra. They would string them up. And if you've ever seen a ristra, it's actually very decorative. They're really pretty. They've, you know, the peppers, and they do fancy knotting and they hang them and they become a decoration. So they started blessing their houses with the red peppers. And to this day, the red peppers are considered protection charms. Now, this came over with the Italian immigrants as well as immigrants from Mexico and Latin America into the United States. Because guess what? Down in Mexico, they grew the red peppers. And the Mexicans, you know, felt that the bullhorn was also a protective charm in the more modern day era. And so I don't know if all of them knew about the European tradition, but it became a symbol of power of the bull and protection in Mexico. And so it migrated up into the United States. And guess what? The Mexican farmers also thought, boy, those chili peppers look an awful lot like the horns, you know, the bull. And so this influx came into the United States from Europe and from Mexico. And my brother, Mark, I wish he was here tonight. I should have told him about the show, lives in New Mexico. And I've been out to where he lives. And people out there make wreaths of chili peppers. They hang them like ristras, strings on their door. I actually seen people paint them on their houses. It's really kind of considered a protection charm. And it protects against the evil eye. Okay. It protects against really all evil, but especially it started as the evil eye. Because the evil eye could make a man lose his potency and become weak and feeble. But the red charm, the red horn, or the red pepper makes you strong. It blocks demonic attack. It protects your house, your crops, your animals, your plants. And so these charms, particularly in the United States, the red pepper started to become as equally popular, if not more popular, than the Italian horn. Now, they look so very similar that one can say, is it a thorn or a pepper? Now, this one you can see is a pepper, but it could easily be a horn. The Italian horn is kind of a distinct shape. It's more of a gazelle or a bullhorn shape, whereas the pepper is a little more free-formed. But they're very similar. And so red peppers, red horns, the farmers all thought they looked alike and said, well, it doesn't matter. One is the same as the other. And that's how the red pepper charm started to become popular here, at least here in the United States. I know in Italy they believe in the red pepper charm, but I don't know if in other parts of Europe. Any of you here from other parts of Europe? Like Marjana, your family's Polish. Do they have tradition of the red charm, red horn in Poland? Anybody else here from, I know Kola, you're from England. Kola, what about this charm? Is this popular? Do they have red pepper charms in England? I know it's distinctly a United States and a Mexican tradition, but I don't know if the red pepper is as known in Europe as it is here in the US. Yeah, Amy Radcliffe says the evil eye is for protection against evil. That's right. Oh, yeah. Amanda says, was evil eye instead that one? Okay, now, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, so you might have missed it, but the evil eye is believed to be a malevolent force. All right, let me give you the short version of that, because that was a whole video. So the ancients felt that there was an evil cosmic force. Imagine like a cloud, a black cloud of evil, and it would just float through the cosmos and strike people and kill them dead. Well, they started to believe that the cloud would watch people. It was called the evil eye, meaning it had a consciousness and would watch you. So people started wearing eye charms to protect against that. This is an evil eye charm, blue eyes traditionally. And so people would wear blue eye charms to deflect that cloud of evil. The evil eye was called. Now, these charms are called evil eye charms, but they're not actually evil eyes. They're the divine eye. You could call them the divine eye that deflects the evil eye. But people can't sell this, so they just call it evil eye. Okay. And so then another form of protection when people didn't want to wear the evil eye charm was the horn. So both of these deflect the evil eye. Now, the evil eye is also believed to be possessed by people who have hatred in their heart. They have envy and jealousy and hatred. They would look at people with an evil intent. There are some people on the earth who can do this. They'll glare at you. You know that saying, if looks could kill? Well, some people have the power to really injure people with their looks. And it's believed that if you're in the presence of such a person wearing either the horn charm or the eye charm, will deflect that. I did a whole video. Amanda, you might want to go back like 2 weeks. I did a whole video and showed all my evil eye charms. Okay, so hopefully that will help you a little bit. Okay. So Baroness says no, babe. So the red pepper charm is not something you see in England. See, that's something, Cola, when you come to the U.S., you're going to see it over here. A lot of people wear it. It's very popular, the red pepper. So it's kind of the American, I call the red pepper the American version of the Italian horn. The Italian horn is still worn here as well, but mostly it's worn in silver and gold in the United States. Back in the 30s and 40s, it was worn in red coral, but it's even hard to find red Italian horns nowadays. So the red pepper is kind of a stand-in, but they're interconnected. Isn't that interesting? Now, to show you how this evolves, so people now, started even making red pepper charms like this to hang in their house. This is made of blown glass, mercury glass, but it's considered a protection charm. So there are magical stores here, and they'll sell these. You can buy red pepper charms. You can just hang them on the wall, in your house or in your kitchen, wherever you want. And they've evolved into other things. Now, remember we talked about the pentagram here, the 5-pointed star. This is actually a red pepper pentagram. So again, we're combining multiple charms. So we got the Italian horn with the red pepper, and now that's combined with the 5-pointed star, the pentagram. So this is a pentagram made of red peppers. Isn't that interesting? How you like that, huh? I used to have more red pepper charms, and some of them got broken when I was moving and cleaning house. So I'll have more for you all to see later on, but this will give you an idea. Now, to show you how, again, charms combine and conflate and mix and mingle. Hey, Robin, there you are. Good to see you. If you just got here, Robin, you'll have to go back and watch the beginning. We have a lot of stuff in this video. Not right now, but later. Now, we talked about the evil eye. I don't have all my evil eye charms here, but basically, all right, the evil eye, all right, charm. It's a charm to deflect against evil. It's usually done in blue. Now, remember, we talked about the power of the red Italian horn. So a lot of times in Italy, you'll see people even to this day, and wherever Italian communities are, they'll wear both of them on a chain. So they'll wear the eye and the horn, because they're both considered deflective. They're kind of allies that work together against evil. Now, remember, the red pepper is also the same. You'll see people in the U.S. wearing the red pepper, and sometimes they'll wear the eye also with the red pepper. Now, the evil eye charm has evolved and changed, and sometimes it takes on a more abstract form. Here's one. It's like a water droplet with the eye, like pools of water, but it's an eye. Isn't that kind of cool? This one's from Italy. It's glass, Italian Murano glass, but it's an evil eye charm. Blue is traditionally associated with the evil eye, whereas red is associated with the Italian horn and the red pepper. Now, what happens when, again, people say, hey, let's combine some magic? All right, the evil eye keeps evolving, because now you can buy evil eye charms in red as well. This combines the energy of the red Italian horn or the red pepper with the evil eye. All right, you guys see that? So I'm sorry, guys, I didn't see some of your questions here. Okay. Lady Jane, the Earl Grey tea site, says, oh, that's the one I thought was a starfish. No, this isn't a starfish. This is red peppers. You'll notice that it's got the green stalks on the red pepper in the middle. So these are peppers made into a pentagram, which is doubly protective, okay? All right. Now, Amsterdam says, what if your evil eye needs glasses? Is that less powerful? You know, Amsterdam, so that's a good question. I'm not sure. That's cute. All right. Stardust, he says, hey, PsychicBob, I love the red pepper star. It does look like a starfish. Yeah, it does look like a starfish. Now, there are people who are sea witches who hang starfish up in their house as their form of pentagram. So, again, this could be similar also to sea witch magic. But in this case, it is the red pepper, because you can see the green stalks. All right, so we got red pepper charms, which are remnants, descendants of the Italian horn. You guys with me so far? All right. Robin Boss says, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So this is the red eye charm. And it keeps watch for you. All right. So there you go. All right. So I want you guys to see how all of this is interconnected and how it has evolved. Thank you, Scott. Scott from South Carolina says, please press the thumbs up button if you're on a phone. You have to temporarily hide the chat to see it. Thanks. It helps the show. Thank you, Scott. I need the support right now. All right. So these charms are fascinating. Now, this also ties in with, and next week, we're going to talk about the horned hand charm, because this is also, let me find it here, hold on. This is my Italian horned hand charm. Let's see if you can see it here. See the hands? That's the back side. This is the palm side with the hand up. Hopefully you can see that. This is done in sterling silver and, again, enameled in red. This sign represents the horned god. Remember, in ancient pagan cultures, the god was the horned god. And so the Italians or ancient Romans thought invoking the horned god would protect them from evil. So they would do this symbol and deflect it as a sign of evil. This is the same as the horned charm. Remember, we talked about our horn. So again, the red of the red coral horn evolved into the red hand that represents the horned god. This is also a charm. We're going to do a whole video next week on this. I'll have more to show you next week on that. But just know for right now that they are all interconnected. The horned hand, which evolved into the red horned hand. Most of the hands you'll see today are red colored from the red coral or the red pepper. Okay, so there's our red pepper. Now somewhere I have, here it is. I thought I lost it. Nowadays in the United States, okay, we've evolved also to wearing green peppers. That just when you thought, oh, I figured it all out. There you go. Don't put your thumb out. That's sign language. It means I love you. You have to bend the thumb in, Amsterdam. So there you go. But if you're ever feeling threatened, like you're walking down the street, do this and pray. You know, all things through prayer. Say, I call the horned god to surround me with power. Just use the symbol, deflect it. You know, one time I was walking down an alleyway behind a shopping center, and a gang of guys came up to me. I thought, oh my God. And I just put my hand out like that. And you know what? It's like they instinctively felt it, and they just kind of backed off. But they looked like they were going to jump me. And I used the horn sign. Now, that doesn't mean just because you do the horn sign, be stupid and go bad places. But sometimes you end up in things unexpected, and it's a thing. Now, if you're wearing your horn charms, and you got your horn sign power, you're probably raising up some good power there, you know. So, now, we could do a whole nother video, which we probably will, about the green horn or the green pepper. But we'll talk about this a little bit today, too. So, remember in ancient Europe, many cultures worshipped a god of the forest, the green man or the green woman. In Britain, it was predominantly the green man. Modern day pagans, here particularly in the United States, often wear green charms to represent their connection to the green man. The green man is the pagan god of vegetation. He's the god of the trees, and his face is seen in foliage and in grass and in leaves. All right? So, the green man is many times also shown as a horn god. They combined in Europe the concept of the horn god with the green man. So you will see, even to this day, images of the green man sometimes wearing horns, because ancient gods, the horns meant power, virility, royalty, you know, things like that. It was a sign of power. So some of the modern day pagans like to wear the green chili pepper because it is reminiscent of the green man, the god of vegetation. And the green man would be the god over the crops like chili peppers or jalapenos. So green pepper is now, you'll see, also worn, at least here in the United States, as a sign of protection, as a horn symbol of the horned god, and particularly of the horned god in his green man aspect. So do you see, it's like kind of all blends together. I don't mean to confuse you guys, but I hope that, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight. So now as you're looking to get charms for yourself to wear, you have a lot of different options you can look at. And these are only a few. These are only the ones that are associated with deflecting, the evil eye. All charms deflect the evil eye, really, if they're powerful, magical charms. But these are the ones that are traditional, some of the earliest magical charms, you see. How you guys like that? What do you say? Have we gone silent? Are we still broadcasting? Anyways, I hope we're broadcasting. So I invite all of you, as you're looking at charms, explore them. So just to review real quick, we have the Italian horn charm in silver or gold. We also have the Italian horn in red coral. You can still get them in red coral, but they're very expensive. If you buy an Italian horn like this in real coral, it'll run you close to $100. This one I would recommend if you don't want to spend that type of money. Red enamel, if you want a red horn, look for red enamel charms. This is an Italian horn. Now this is actually done in sterling silver, overlaid in enamel. So it's a good quality charm. Silver is also considered protective against evil. Hence why many of the charms are done in silver. You've got the horned hand. We're going to do a whole video next week about this charm. And I'll show you more about that and how that all connects. But remember that. Okay. You also have the red chili pepper, which is another horn symbol. So you can hang the red chili pepper in your house. And as we told the history of that, it's connected also. The ancient farmers saw a connection with it and the Italian horn and the horns of bulls and protective animals, as well as the horn god. And then when we combine all of that, we've got the red pentagram the pentagram done in red chili peppers. Again, the star of power combined with the horn god's power. So this could be kind of like a star of the horn god. All right. And all of this deflects against evil. And if you want to get into evil eye charms, then most of them are traditionally done in blue. They can be done in other colors. And as I showed you, they started to combine the red of the red Italian horn, the red chili pepper, with the evil eye, and came out with red evil eye charms now. So it's all like blending together, really. And it's all meant for protection and blessing and attuning to the ancient ones, And this has evolved into modern day, also the green man with the horned lord combined in the chili pepper. And I think the green chili is actually a really brilliant idea for a charm because the green man, his colors are traditionally green, all right? The red pepper is a horned symbol. And so a green horned god, this could represent. Isn't that cool? Or goddess. There are green horned goddesses as well. So what do you guys think? Any thoughts on that? Any questions on that? You're welcome, Amanda. So glad you enjoyed that. Thank you, Robin. Robin said it's fascinating. Amsterdam says, very interesting stuff. Yay. Don Chance says, party on, dude. All right. I don't think I'm partying. I'm drinking tea, but I guess that could be a party. Next week, Amsterdam Soul, we're going to talk about that wonderful tea that you sent us. Baroness and Colabobs and I have been eyeing it. I haven't opened it yet because I wanted to wait and do a special thing. So I think next week, since we're going to talk about more about the horn god and the green man, we're going to talk about their combination. I'm going to drink that special tea that you got us. So I haven't forgotten it. I just want to say thank you for that lovely gift. And next week, we're going to have a tea review as part of WICCAN Wednesday. All right. But I wanted to wait till I was talking about a god of the greenery till I did that. So next week, we're going to do that. Does that sound good? Anyways. Amy Radcliffe says, I like the green pepper charm. Yeah, I do too. I think it's different, So, think about all of these symbols. Bring them into your life. Explore them. Maybe one speaks to you, or maybe something else does. But I encourage you to explore these. These are what we call traditional charms. Robin Boston says, is the horn symbol about the bull? Yes. Originally, just so you know, Robin, originally the horn, the Italian horn, was connected to Zeus, who took it from a gazelle. It was actually a gazelle horn originally. If you look at gazelle horns, they look similar to the Italian horns. But the bull was also a symbol of Zeus. So some people say these are bull horns, which I guess they could be. But it was originally a gazelle horn, but it doesn't matter. It's a horn, is a horn, is a horn. And so Zeus took the horn from a gazelle and filled it with jewels and gold and diamonds and food and gave it to people. So these horns you'll see horns aplenty on tables and on mantles as decoration. Those also descend from this symbol that Zeus gave. And in Mexico, the red pepper charm was thought to be like the bull, the bull's horn. So in many of the Mexicans, farmers call this the sign of the bull's horn, the red pepper. So yes, there is a bull connection in both ancient Rome and in Mexico. Because as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were here, you have to go back and watch it, but I explained the history of how this evolved from Mexico as well as Europe. It's in both places. All right. Amsterdamsel says, I can't read it. The greenhorn inspires me. Yeah, I do too. You don't see the greenhorn as much, but there it is. There's a little greenhorn. But I think it's a great charm. It's considered a protection charm as well here in the United States. Amsterdamsel says, so the cornucopia. The cornucopia is the origin of the horned charm. Zeus gave it to mortals for blessing. It was a sign of his favor and protection on a person. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Amsterdam says, I love that red pepper ornament. This one is the glass. This is blown glass. I had another one. I dropped it and shattered it. But I still have this one. I need to get a green glass pepper ornament too. Now that we're coming up, by the way, since we're getting close to the holiday season in America, we have all the Christmas ornaments out. You might want to look around and see if you can buy red. I do see them in my area, at least, red and green pepper Christmas ornaments. You can use those in your temple area, your meditation, your shrine, anywhere in your home as protection. They're not just for Christmas. All right. But now that we're going to Christmas, look up, see if you can find red pepper Christmas ornaments. They even make strings of lights, party lights that are red peppers. I'm looking for a set of those. I'm going to put those in my temple room, put those near my green man shrine, I'm going to be combining in my shrine the green man and the horn god because they kind of conflagrate together. So I'll be having chili peppers and horn symbols. All that's going to all be mixed together in my shrine. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Anybody have any Wiccan questions? It doesn't have to just be about the red pepper tonight. Wiccan Wednesday is also about exploring other areas of the craft as well. Amanda says, okay, good now. Oh my God, don't mention holidays already. Oh my goodness, haha. There's already Christmas stuff at our stores. I'm seeing it too. I was at Hobby Lobby the other day. They've already got all the Christmas stuff out. I'm like, well, I guess people want to start early, I'm still getting ready for Halloween, so. Amy Radcliffe says, I have a ghost string of lights. I love it. Oh, yeah, a little ghost. That sounds cute. I love to see that. Send me a picture of that. Amsterdam still says, so, herbal healing and witchcraft. Is that a question, or I'm not sure what you need, what you're asking? You're just talking to somebody? Yes, the witches all work with herbs. And see, that's another thing. If you're an herbalist, the green pepper charm can represent the magic of green herbs, Baroness, Baroness says, I just bought a spider string of lights, Amy. Keep that away from me, Cola. I ain't looking at no spider. No, thank you. Stardust, I'm not doing psychic questions tonight. I'm only doing Wiccan questions. So I have to look at that on Friday. Okay. I'm sorry. That's a psychic question. I'm having a little bit of a break today. I've been working a lot. All right. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just I'm not opening that channel. Scott from South Carolina says, do pumpkins have any significance? Yeah, well, pumpkins all tie in with the harvest, the pagan harvests, because it's this time of year when they would gather all the stuff out of the fields. And then it was in the Celtic tradition in Ireland and in the British Isles, they would actually carve radishes at this time of year and put candles in them. But it evolved somehow into pumpkins. I don't think it was really pumpkins until it came to the United States with the Celtic settlers, because we don't grow giant radishes here like they do in Europe. And so the next best thing that they figured out was pumpkins. And I think that pumpkins are more of an American thing. I mean, you see them in Britain, but I think in Europe it was more radishes that were carved. And it's in the US, it's more pumpkins. But nowadays, I think it's pumpkins all over the world. But it started out as radishes being carved. And they would put lights in them. It was believed to guide the spirits of the dead for blessings. And, and then it evolved into pumpkins. And then we try to make it scary. Halloween originally wasn't scary. It was actually originally a festival to welcome back the dead that you loved who had left. So the radishes were carved and then candles put in them as a welcoming light. And they'd put them outside their houses. That's how that all started. And then Americans got a hold of it and turned it into carving monster faces and then making it scary. But that's not how it actually started, Amanda says, have to get my daughter from soccer. Bye. Thank you for joining us, Amanda. Have a good time. Blessings to you and your family. Thank you. Isn't that nice? So anyways, guys, I hope this has given you some insight tonight. And I really thank you guys for joining us. And, I think we're going to wrap it up. Psychic Bob's going to have a little dinner and unwind for the day. And anyway, so next week we're going to gather. We're going to talk about the horned hand symbol and how that ties in with the horned Lord as well. So, so please join us next week for the horned hand. Okay, we'll talk all about that. Well, you guys are the best. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of our saying, oh, I need to put on my charm. I don't want to be without my protection. Put on my red pepper charm. And there you go. I think I'm all set today. Anyways, you guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you, Baroness, for moderating tonight. I've enjoyed it. Amy says, I wanted you to do a show on ghosts. We'll probably do that. Yeah, we'll do that eventually. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn Odell's back. Thank you, Lynn. Good to see you again. Well, I'm going to just chill out for a little while. I've been working a lot today. Thank you to all you've been calling for private readings. I am getting back to people as quickly as I can, so please be patient with me. I'm getting a lot of calls right now. But I've enjoyed hearing from all of you, and I hope that, wherever you are, you're going to be blessed and protected. And, explore these charms. See if they work in your life. See if they help you. I'm just a believer in it. I've been around and tried them, and I do feel that there's something to it. I'm not saying you have to believe it, but maybe it'll help you in your life, and that's why we talk about these things. I always tell people, take what you want, leave the rest behind. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't. If you're not feeling it, that's okay. We'll have something next week. Maybe next week's charm will be the thing for you. But it's always cool just to be open to consider and to learn. And that's what we do here on Wiccan Wednesday. Well, you guys are best. I love all of you. I send my greetings, my blessings, my good times. I send the blessing of the red witch hat and cone of power to all of you. Listen, we'll see you back here tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday, tomorrow night, seance night. That's right. So be here tomorrow night. We're going to have a spiritualist seance. I'm going to go into trance. We'll see what spirits come through and for messages for people. Last week, we had an amazing seance. I don't know if you all were here. Some of you were there, I know. But if you weren't there, go watch last week's seance. I'll give you an idea what might happen. You know, it's always interesting. So we're going to have seance tomorrow night. And I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a rocking time. PsychicBob loves all of you. And I hope wherever you are, you're rocking it out. All right, guys. Blessed be. And may the power of the horned god and the red pepper bless and protect you all. So mote it be. Good night.